right, everyone. You asked for it. You've been demanding it. The most powerful Deku ever. Deku the Giraffe. I said giraffe, but giraffe. That's right. For the Devil Fruit video, what if Deku had a Devil Fruit? We have the Ushi Ushi, which I believe is the Ox fruit, modeled giraffe. Now, first of all, I explained this in the post. Someone had made some comments. I just said, let me just address it. I went with the Japanese names. Yes, I did. But Zoan was the last one we've already done a Logia. We'd already done a Paramecium. No, actually, no, we hadn't. I gave you the choice of Zoan and Paramecium. That's right. And then I gave you the letters. The problem right out the gate for Zoan is there are no Zoan that are like the GG no Mi, like for example the Goma Goma no Mi or the Goro Goro no Mi. There are no Zoan like that. So I had to go with the animal part of the name, and there's only two known letter G Zoan fruits. There's an unnamed gorilla fruit, and there's the giraffe fruit. So those are your options. Now I'm pretty sure the reason though people chose G is they thought I was going to go with the Goma Goma no Mi, which is in fact the legendary Zoan fruit. But the problem is, it's not the Goma Goma no Mi. It's, I believe, the Hito Hito no Mi model Nika. So in the future, if you do want the Goma Goma no Mi, you actually got to ask for the Hito Hito no Mi. You're going to have to ask for that. And yeah, by the way, in Japanese, it is giraffe. It's not like whatever the Japanese word for giraffe. It is giraffe. So those were your options. But it's surprisingly not a bad devil fruit. I mean, apart from the fact you turn into a giraffe, it also increases your strength, your durability. It does actually give you surprising speed. It does have an awakening where you're a bit more bipedal. Your neck, I believe, thickens or slims. I can't remember which one it is. And there are flames involved with it. So yeah. It's not actually that bad of a double, particularly because you can see right in the image here that we're using. He actually was able to give like Zoro problems. I mean, it's early Zoro, but it's still Zoro problems. So if it's powerful enough to give him problems, it's not necessarily a bad fruit. No ability is completely impossible to use if you think about how to use it in unique ways. By the way, should note, when you transform in this devil fruit, you don't have hair. But I had to do something to make this a what if that it's Deku transformed as giraffe. So I just stuck Deku's hair on the giraffe. I actually think that looks pretty good, to be honest. How weird. One of my best Photoshop jobs, and it's just hair on a giraffe with a hat. But I digress. So, how does it start? Well, it would start one day with Deku's mom bringing groceries back from the grocery store. Now, I think we'll change things up a little bit here. And instead of him finding his quirk out after being diagnosed quirkless, I think what happens is he eats the fruit before he gets his diagnosis, and he ends up having the quirk. Seems fair. And yeah, Deku realizes very quickly, I can turn into a giraffe. Well, this is a weird kind of ability. Now, should note, Zoans do have the ability to do partial transformation, so not every part of your body has to be transformed. You're not fully transformed into animal. A full transformation or a hybrid transformation, which is arguably the strongest version of said transformation, because you're combining most of the elements, most of your elements from your animal into your human, so into a humanoid form for combat. So Deku would honestly spend a lot of time kind of just seeing what he can do as a giraffe, and he does quickly find out as he kind of like swings his neck. Wow, this actually has a lot of power to it. Okay, so he starts practicing with his combat style as fighting as a giraffe. But also one of the things is a lot of the neighbor kids, especially as he gets older, the younger kids say, like, giraffe, do the giraffe thing. Oh, well, I mean, I'm not really supposed to. I'm not a hero yet. I don't have a license to do this legally. Okay, just this once. You guys want to go for a ride? Yay, giraffe! And it's like, yeah. And like Deku's like, it's good to make him smile. But later down the road, I think he also, before UA, he doesn't awaken the first. I do not want to be far there. How long? We're talking about age 4, which is, I believe, when you find out what your quirk is, to 15 or 16 when you go into UA. Well, 15 before the actual events of the story happen. So that's over a decade. I mean, if Deku is pushing his abilities to the limit, training them, I'm not gonna lie, he could have awakened it right there. I'm gonna say he's not hasn't awoken it yet, just to give him something cool to do down the road. But having a hybrid form, I think that's legit. Perfecting the neck fighting moves he does, I think that's legit. So he does have a quirk, but Bakugo would still make his life a living hell. If anything, being a giraffe would almost be worse than being like quirkless in Deku's mind, because it's like, at least you could have an excuse for being useless, Deku. Now, because I can still think he thinks Deku is useless as a giraffe, except now he's long necked Deku. So just you long necked, it's like, oh come on, Bakugo, come on, I can be your hero too, please. A giraffe, you can be some sort of kitty hero. Is that it? It's like, well, why not? Even if I can't be the greatest hero in the world, I'll still be a hero, no matter what. And that's what heroes do, right? They protect people. Heroes win, no matter what. No matter what. It's not about protecting people. It's about getting the job done. Which, admittedly, I'm not 100% sure if that is where Baku's mindset would have actually been on the subject. But it does strike me as something where it does strike me as a place his mind would have gone, because that's what kind of how he viewed it. All Might. It's like heroes win no matter what. It's like, yeah, you're missing the point, Bakugo. Still though, Deku never tries to fight Bakugo about this. Honestly, I can see the only time Bakugo or Deku would ever try to get in Bakugo's face about this is if his personality is drastically changed, like when he was the son of Lobo. That was a change in his personality straight, not night and day, but enough of a, like, I'm not going to take shit from you kind of mentality that he would, I just blanked on what I was going to say, that he would get in Bakugo's face. But no, Deku's like, no, I'm not going to fight you. First off, in a straight physical fight, Deku would beat the shit out of Bakugo, and I think Deku would be smart enough to know that. Now, Bakugo's quirk is still strong enough that I think it would give Deku a lot of problems. Deku doesn't have hockey or anything like that. Don't worry, those are what ifs for down the road when we do hockey stuff. But, yeah, I gotta say, it wouldn't go well for Bakugo in a straight physical fight. And again, Deku probably knows this. So he kind of just lets Bakugo spew his crap or whatever. And so, when the day comes to announce, all right, you're all applying to me. Yeah, you all want to be us. Yeah. Now, the difference here is he doesn't single Midoriya out in the class because Midoriya has a quirk. There's no reason to single him out. And because of that, I think Bakugo kind of overlooks himself the road, kind of leaves him alone on this subject. Like, yeah, he's going to try to be a hero. He's going to fail. So whatever. And so there's not much of an issue here. But Deku, heads home. He's still mulling over, like, Bakugo's attitude, though. Just a lot of real shit. Like, he just wonders what happened to the kid that was his friend all those years ago. He kind of maybe also wonders, like, I wonder if he really ever actually considered me here from. I was just that random kid he hung out with because he was in the neighborhood, which, let's be honest, probably was the latter for that. Trust me, I was that kid. Not fun. But look at the fine, unstable gentleman I am now. But regardless, I can laugh about it now. That's the beauty of time, kids. He's still walking on, walks under the bridge, and that's where the sludge hero comes after. It's like, gosh, it's gonna be over quick, kid. I'm not a hero. I'm gonna get in trouble. I gotta do something. Now just give me your body, and all of a sudden he just what? And Deku actually swings his neck, even though he's not gonna physically hurt him. It takes this guy by surprise. Like, what the hell? Just reinforce. Are you a giraffe? It's like, yeah. Huh? What are you gonna do? Eat some grass at me? It's like crap. I can't beat this guy. My quirk's not good against a guy like this, but I gotta try something. Giraffe style. It's like or Giraffe martial art or maybe it's just his signature movies, but giraffe whip. So he just swing because this is a move that this character actually has in One Piece, where he literally spins, bends his neck around, just kind of like whips it around, which had Giraffe's fight, by the way. And actually, he's like enough that's he's actually I can't grab onto. Yeah. You're annoying, kid. I'll give you that. But you're still just a bunch of meat that I can take. Is that right? Is that right? Oh, sorry. Is that right? Wait, is that? Never fear, for I am here. Smash! And Deku unfortunately gets caught by. Oh, hey, kid! Hey, kid! Wake up! You're all mine. That's right. I must say that was very brave of you trying to take him on. Well, he was gonna kill me. He was trying to take over my body. I couldn't sit there as a normal. Normally, you're not a hero in school yet. You don't have a license. You could get in a lot of trouble for doing that. But given the circumstances, I can be lenient this time. I want to. Well, just try not to do it again. It's like, no, of course. But there's. Look, my quirk isn't anything amazing, but I really want to be a hero. Yeah, no, don't. Even quirks of a lesser nature can be improved. Can be proved useful. I mean, look at you right now. You were able to hold that mount, even though your quirk was not well matched up against him. You're still able to hold him at bay. Impressive, young lad. It's like, really, you think so? I want to be a hero just like you, All Might. I want to be a symbol of hope. Mm-hmm. Well, that's you can see it in his eyes. The look in his eyes. Well. I can already tell you had the attitude for young Midoriya. He's looking at young Midoriya. Well, I have to be off. Got to get this guy to the authorities and say, of course. But wait, you gave me his autograph. Oh my! So, that boy. There was something different about that boy. If he makes it in the UA, I'll have to keep an eye on him. Now then, let's get you to the police station before our time runs out. And so, did they say Bakugo doesn't get attacked by the sludge monster? Midoriya doesn't get one for all. So, where does it go from here? Well, Midoriya still keeps training. It's like, all right, I can do this. And so Midoriya gets ready to enter or take the entrance exams. Obviously, Ida was still tells you, stop muttering there. It's rude. It's like, sorry. And Baka's like, you're still trying to apply Deku, you idiot. You're never going to be able to get past this. It's going to be hilarious to see you fail. It's like, geez, just wait. And so Midoriya, and so they get ready. Ida, again, he doesn't apologize because he is kind of a dick at the beginning. Honestly, he's kind of a dick throughout parts of the story. He's so stuck up his own ass for no reason. And he just thinks he kind of has this like higher than mighty view of himself to some degree. So Midoriya is like, okay, gotta get in. He turns his legs into giraffe legs to give him the longer reach, stronger kick, all that. And so let's go. And Ida starts running, and obviously Ida's the fastest, but quickly sees behind her that Midoriya's only a couple legs behind. Maybe like let's say they're right here. Midoriya's maybe like right behind him. Like he's the next fastest thanks to his giraffe quirk. It's like he's fast. Interesting. It's like, and then Midoriya, even though he's still a little freaked out, I think because whenever he has an actual quirk, I really do think he's less freaked out because he's had time to adjust to quirk life, to the experiences these quirks give him, and so forth and so on. And so he actually does crush it, and he actually takes out robots. He does succeed in doing some of this. Now he does. A lot of people are moving a lot faster than him, so he's not able to take out a lot of them, but still. And just then they see the 0 pointer coming. It's like, I gotta get out of here. It's not worth any points, so there's no point in trying to take it. Tell him. It's like, crud. It's like, huh? That girl. Oh no. Hold on, I got you. And he tries to let it, goes into full hybrid mode. He's like, okay, I got you. Now let's get going. Look out! And just sees this everybody. And just jumps around like, nope, not good. You're not taking me down that easy. And just swings, boom, hits it with his head on there as hard as he can because he luckily does have horns on his head. And it's not enough to do a lot, unfortunately. But it's enough that it actually, like, I can think he, like, hits it as hard as he can. And even his head's like, oh, God. It's like, that really hurt. Even with my horns, that hurt. But I think it's enough that it does, again, it doesn't really damage. Like, it could make a solid dent. But damage to 0 point. But what it does do is that when it hits it goes, and, like, enough to, like, kind of shake and rattle it. And Uraraka's like, let me touch it. And then all of a sudden, and she just, and all of a sudden starts to, flow. It's like, what the? Holy crap! It's like, is that your core? It's like, it's like, oh God, you okay? And then he transforms more into the giraffe form, just like, and gives her something to like kind of just lie down on. It's like, oh, you're comfy. Are you a giraffe? It's like, hey, yeah, I get that a lot. And so, ultimately, this ends with, surprisingly, obviously, Deku would pass. But it comes from All Might, and All Might's even like, he went to go save her, even though there was no value in it for him. It really is something after all. But more importantly, All Might says, yes, yeah, Midoriya, you were, when it comes to the exam, you scored a decent amount. Unfortunately, it wasn't high enough to score in the upper half, in the passing half of the rest of the students when it comes to the robots you killed. However, we weren't grading solely on that. You see, you and Uraraka both protected each other from the 0 pointer. A hero is not solely a warrior, but he is a protector of the people, a rescuer. And so rescue points, and each of you got basically enough points to pass. Welcome to My Hero Academia. And so Deku, goes in and sees her, Uraraka! And obviously Ida's stupid and thinks, you knew the secret of the exam the whole time. I was like, no, I didn't. Stop it. And so Aizawa shows up. I was like, all right, shut up. Let's go into the obstacle course. All right, you're going to use your quirks for these now. Now, obviously, Deku's never had to use his quirk in this scenario, but his quirk is so physically based that most, if not all of these events, he'd pass with flying colors. I don't know if he would beat every single one. He's not beating Ida in the dash. He's not beating Ida. But in the jump with giraffe legs, he's not beating Uraraka, who can just, float. But point being, the jump, he's got that. He could probably, do the shot put fairly well, the side to side. I don't know if he's going to do the grip thing, though. He's not going to be able to do very well. Either because his high performance still give him some hooves. Still, though, he'd do a lot better because he's got a physical-based quirk here than he would otherwise. Bako is now kind of just looking pissed off that Deku's actually a stupid giraffe is doing as well as he is. And so, when we get to the hero-villain exercise, Baku's like, that's stupid. Deku thinks he's so cool. Thinks a giraffe can be a hero. That's so. I think that's really his hang-up. His quirk just gives him giraffe-like features, and I think that's his hang-up on Deku here. Who, yes, I still think, like I said, he calls him Deku, maybe even Long Deku, whatever. Now, Deku's outfit, I think, honestly, he could probably still have the same outfit. It's designed after All Might. So it looks like All Might, which he was emulating to begin with. But there's probably some features, for example, his cowl, it probably is more detachable than anything else. Because if he turns into a giraffe, well, that's going to be problematic for that. It's going to rip off. His mask, I think, is probably doesn't really do much in this case, but he still has it regardless. And so Deku knows Bako really well. Uraraka, says, is something going on with you? And you and Bako, yeah. Bakugo and I don't get to us in high school or middle school or elementary school and middle school, where we were friends a long time ago. But ever since I got my quirk, he's just been so vicious about things. Like he just insults. Like if for some reason he just thinks I can't be a hero just because I turn into a giraffe. Yeah, but your quirk's actually pretty cool. You seem to be able to use it pretty well. Thanks, Uraraka. And then that's when Bakugo obviously comes out and just Deku! Using stupid. You're just a stupid safari gimmick. That's what you are. A long neck freak, Deku. So just go, Uraraka. This is between me and him. Grabs him. I'm not gonna be the one. I'm not gonna be the Deku that you pick up from now on. Deku's the name of a hero. It's like you. Just and obviously Deku gets blown around. He's in his hybrid form. Full giraffe form makes no sense in that hallway, but hybrid form does make some sense. Unfortunately, he can't. He realizes quickly. I even as a hybrid, I'm too big for this corridor. What's the matter? What's the matter? What's happened to a giraffe can be a hero, Deku? What's there a little cramp for you? Here, let me make some rope. And it just starts pounding on Midoriya. Now, luckily, Midoriya's durability is amped in this form, so he is able to actually take hits from Bakugo. It hurts, but he can still take them. And at that point, when Bakugo gets it, come on, is that all you can do? And she gets decked by Deku and Cyber just boom! And then Deku comes around, rushes in, and dips, and then transforms one of his legs into a giraffe. Like it just hits Bakugo straight in the gut. Boom! Goes flying. You're right. I can't transform into my full form here. But that doesn't mean But he kind of gets his neck a little bit longer. It's a little awkward for his body size, but he kind of half transforms. Not even a hybrid, just half transforms to get the balance right. I'm not useless. He's like, you starts swinging his head around a little bit. And finally, Deku just gets out of there. It's like, this is no good. This is not an environment my quirk's good for. And then finally, Deku. He's about to, if the makers of this did this in my specifications, I've been stirring my sweat this whole time for one big burst. Bakugo, don't you kill him! He'll be fine as long as he dodges. Boom. I should stop this, but that look on Midoriya's face, he could be the one. I need to know. All right, Bakugo, don't you do that again? You're immediately disqualified. Destroying the building is a stupid strategy, whether you're a hero or a villain. Fine. And so, Bakugo and Deku get it out again, and Bakugo is trying to dodge his best, and he's dodging more effectively as he's fighting Deku more and more. But Deku every once in a while just extends his arm and still manages to tag him, hits him with a transform leg. And so ultimately, Deku just kind of grabs his the capture tape and just got you, boom, and just extends his arm real quick, and then just his arms. I think what he does is he grabs the tape with his teeth, extends his arm out, which extends the tape out, has the other arm on, and just grabs it, got you, and then just gets him by the neck. What? I lost it lost it on the hall, but I managed to grab it while you were chasing me down here. I can't beat you outright, and this is not a good environment for me to fight you in, Bakugo, so I had to capture you instead. So you have been captured. It's like, the winner! And then obviously Uraraka, I'm coming! And Bakugo's just standing there, and then finally kicks up, gets, launches up like the steps, finally comes in, it's like, yeah! And it's like, giraffe leg, long kick! Then Ida kind of blocks us. I'm like, Uraraka now! No, the weapon! The heroes win! And Bakugo is like, I lost to him! And so, ultimately, who's the MVP, they say? It might still be Ito, honestly. So Bakugo just it's livid. Deku tries to catch up with him, and Deku tries to explain, look, I know you don't think much of me, but I promise you, Like, I've been working as hard as I can to make my quirk as good as it can be. I won't lose to you. Shut up! You think I care about that? Not only did I lose to you, I just realized I'm no match for that guy, that icy hot bastard either. So enjoy your win, because it's the last one you're getting. And so he goes and pouts. And so, and as he's leaving, and say, young Midoriya. I'm sorry, what? Oh, that's right. You haven't seen me in this form yet, have you? 1 second. Recognize me now? Wait, hold on, what? So there's things we need to talk about. And so we will catch up later with All Might and Deku talking about it. And yeah, you can guess, I can see it in your eyes, kid, that you might be the right one to have my quirk. And so we're going to leave part 1 off with Giraffe Deku getting the 1-up on Bakugo. Because honestly, the truth is, Deku managed to beat him with a quirk that was just, he could not control and was going to destroy his body. He outsmarted him. You give him a quirk that isn't going to do that and can actually put him on some relative plane with Bakugo, or something that's super broken, I almost guarantee you he beats him 95 times out of 100. So ultimately, yeah, that's where we're leaving off part 1. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you for the next one.